Well, hello again. This is another little video on some new programming updates, some new little bits I've had on the system, and also how to use an iPad to operate your trains. One particular person gave me a question a couple of weeks ago was, how do I get my clock working, my church clock? If you go onto the program here, and actually I'll show you where it is. What you've actually got is, there's one, I actually got two there sitting there, but you've got, put your time in there, put the little cogs in there, which is your program. In here, if you go on here, underneath that box there, there is a chimes left or chimes right. Also there's one there called chimes off. This particular two here is which way you want it to come out your speakers, on left speakers or right speakers, and you can pick which one you want. And then all you do then is, once you've done that, you type in clock there. And what I've actually done with this, I've actually put in clock on, because that's the way it's going to be. So what I do now is actually go onto the program here, and I've got there one clock on, which is the first one. I set it off. Now what will actually happen is, when that clock gets to 1:45, the clock chimes will go. Now on my original video, what I actually said was, you've got to turn Railmaster off to switch the thing off. But there is that other one which you go to clock off, and you just make another little program the same, and all you do then, press the button and it'll turn it off. But what we'll do, we'll leave it on for now. That is one particular part of the programming which I've just changed around on the system. Another one is that, as you can see, you're doing this, moving your screens up and down. And more so is if you've got a large system, it can be very awkward playing about on it. Now mine is, I'll put mine into the 100% mode, same as I'm working down here. What I've actually done is a thing called plan move, which is again in the programs. I'll actually show you where that is. If you go down here, I'll actually call it sidings, which is there. You do the same again there, and then here there is a thing there in the system, which if we go down the screen here, it's there, look, where are we? Further up, sorry, there it is. Move plan X and Y. What that is X is up there and Y is down there. So you put the figures you want in there. You've got to fiddle around with them a bit. Once you've done that, well, mine is actually, I've done one here, which is X1, which is the top corner, and X and Y7, which is down here somewhere, and that is, I actually made that, it's a plan move, and I made that called the sidings. So I've actually come out of there now. As you can see, we've got this. All I actually do is go to here. If I wanted to, I can go down here and go to sidings, press the button. What will happen? It goes straight to here, which is when I'm operating around in the sidings. But that is ideal if you're actually operating large systems. You can actually do something here, you can do something over there. But with mine only being a small head, I'd rather play around with it like this. So that's the way mine actually operates. You just turn all these points back in. So that is a bit on the programming side of it. There's a bit more. What I've actually done, I'll actually show you this, is I've done a little program. One is that little Serco train over there with some wagons, and also the pannier tank. What it actually does, I've done two programs. One with the pannier that comes out, goes round the track, comes back in again and parks where it is there. The Serco one is actually a shunting one I've actually originally did. You've seen it on the program. It comes out, goes up to where the bridge is there, it goes back, picks up the dapple cleaner, it comes back out again, goes back in, drops the dapple cleaner off, comes back out and back into the siding where it actually sits. Now, as I pointed out before, what you've got to do there is you pick the two you want. Now the first one is going to be the pannier, which is going to be the operational main one, and what you do is you go right down to the bottom on this one. Because I'm starting it after that original program, I'd actually tap onto that bottom one there, go to the merge little button there, and you say yes, I want to continue. You go down here, and then what it actually is here is all the programs sitting in the back of your computer, and you just find the one, which is that one, Serco Shunter, and you open it up. What it does now, it puts it in. As you can see, the little cursor going up there is building it all in. That says it is all successful, so you do that. Now what will actually happen is, as you can see here, those two sets of points are identically timed. Now in Railmaster you can't operate 2 points at the same time basically, other than a crossover. What you've actually got to do is you've got to leave 2 seconds between operating 4 and 9. As it turns there, it's 34, 36, which is more than 2. This one here would actually operate. So what happens is when you go to say, yeah, that's right, fine, that is what will come up. And then what you've got to do then is hunt the system out and find out where these are and tweak them. So like this one here now, all you do with that is actually turn that back there. Say it's 136, 137. Call that 139, like that. And you do it again. Now what we'll find out is existing. It's done that now. One thing that's happened there is you'll see that I made a mistake. I may have put it into the pannier one. What you need, make sure you do is when you've done this, that particular program and that particular program are kept separate, and here you actually type in an extra name. So in there you'd actually put in Serco, we say, same as on there, and then do that. And do that. So what it actually does is it clears them all out. Now it's a long process to take it all back out again, but all you've got to do is actually, if you want, just delete it and then rerun the program again. So that is the way you do some of your programming. Now then, a couple of things since I last spoke to you. I've had my little wall lights come from China, 5 for £7 something. Got them off eBay, and they come with a resistor built in the line, so they're 12 volts straight away, so I have no problem. There's another one there sitting there on the shed. Another couple of things I've actually had is this. One of these is this, and this is a double cabin. It's actually made out of paper. It comes in sheets and you just cut them out, fold them, glue them. Even the steps come in paper. They're all made out of paper, and you actually have to glue the pieces together. Now one problem I had with this, I didn't realise at the time, I wanted lights in, so normally when you get these they got blank screens there. So what I do is cut them out and put perspex in the bottom and the top and all around the sides as well. And when I tried to put the lights in, I found out that the light was coming through the walls. So as I've got slots underneath there where the lights will come through, with a paintbrush and black paint I had to paint up bank like that and paint all the inside walls to stop them doing that. But in the meantime what it does, because it's paper, you see how it's come through a bit, but it looks a bit weathered. So it's come out quite well actually, as you can see, like that. Another one I've built is another dapple bridge to go with my other two. I've put this in brown because it's going in siding, and what I'm actually going to do is get another one of these, build it and put it there. This took me a couple of days to build. One day, well, a few hours actually to glue it together, and then a couple of days painting, because the thing is you've got to wait for the paint dry. So that is another little thing that I've actually done there. So those are some additions I've had to the system. Now then, we'll now come to an iPad. All my videos that you see are done on a mini iPad, not done on a camcorder, they're all done on a mini iPad. This is my old iPad there, this is an iPad 1. It's quite a large one, it's ideal for running the trains on like this. Now to get this, what you've got to do is download the software, and then what you actually get is, what will happen is, I'll get it to operate there, this will come up, this screen. And what it actually asks for is the server IP address and the server port. Now one way you can do it is go into the computer and dig them out that way around, but there's an easy way of doing this. Down at the bottom here, you see these little squares. If you go to the top left hand one, double click it, and that comes up. And there it is, there's your IP address, and there's your port number. This shows you what it's been doing since I started the system, but that's where your ports are. They're all activated, so it's quite easy to do. So all you do is you put them in there, like that. You press the back button, and then it comes up like that. Now then, using an iPad, the only time I use this is for my grandson when he comes, because he can press the buttons and run the train without damaging anything. It's quite ideal for that. But one problem you've got with the iPad is the fact that on your trains, we've actually got it, you can't scroll them like you can on there. What you've got to do is go to this little arrow button here, brings all your trains up here. We say go to the Gadwall, there, brings up there. But you can only get the first 6 functions on your system. So if I go to my Gadwall here, all I get is the first 6 on there, which is up to there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything after that you can't get. You've got to operate off your Railmaster screen. But it does work. I'll put your sound on. If I can get it go. Like this, it's on. And there's the clock going off. That's it. Now all I'd actually do with that is go back up here if I don't want it on. Somebody said I have a problem with this because the same chimes I have on my doorbell downstairs, and what will happen is that I'll run downstairs and find out there's nobody there, it's this upstairs. So anyway, go back to this. So you've only got those functions. Otherwise you've got to go back on your screen, which is a bit of a thing since more or so now we've got the new trains with 17 odd functions in. You can only use the first 6 you've got on the system. But also what you've actually got, it's improved since the last time, is that if I go to shunt, I didn't have a problem with this because I couldn't get it to operate properly with this, but on this I can actually, see how easy it is to do it. Go down to shunt, go to stop, and turn the sound off. That's it. Another one we've actually built in the system since then is a program file, which is this. And you can get all your programs which is normally sitting up there, you can actually get them now on here. So it's just like the train announcements there. I can get those to operate. Well, so that's how you can operate that. Also with this screen here, you can actually move it around, you can expand it. The only thing you've got with this is such as these points here, is on your screen here, which is this particular one here. If I operate those points, the little blue arrow takes it down there, but on here it doesn't. Also is what you've got, so you've got those there, and what actually happens is, just get it to work. It does work. Do this one. No? What actually happens is that the little light glows. Well, and that's how it operates. You can do the signals as well, but they are a bit fiddly. I'd rather use the other system. So really, I don't use this only for the grandson. Other than that, I don't bother at all. Now, one thing I must tell you about, I don't know if everybody actually knows, but there are 4 laptops out there which do not like Railmaster. There is a little thing in Hornby forum which tells you all about it. What there is one is an Acer, one is a Toshiba Sapphire, One is a Lenovo and another one is an HP. Now what happened is that they're old machines, and what they've done, they've updated them, upgraded them to 8.1, and what they've done is they've not put all the software in, so they do not operate Railmaster. One particular gentleman I know happened to have one of the Toshiba Sapphires. He couldn't get it to load. He had a right problem with it, but he went back to a Windows 7 desk machine and loaded straight away, and he found out that this is a problem we've got with about 4 of the laptops, so beware of that when it comes to buying a laptop. Now, if anybody wants me, I'm on 01782 302194. I'm always here usually. I like to chat to people. Also, is that I can actually, there is a system which I'll show you. If I take that out, this is called Team Viewer, and what that is if I go into it there, I had this from when I had problems, and Hornby actually got in touch with me. What it is there's an ID number there and there's a password number. The person at the other end you actually give those codes to, and in here they'll actually go in there and they will actually go onto your computer remotely, which I could do. You know, if you have a problem, I can actually show you around the screen by me operating it for you, and then that is way. Now what I've actually got is I've got a Windows 8 big machine downstairs in my office, and what I actually can do is actually come up here, get those codes, go downstairs, put them in, and I can operate my railway from downstairs in my office. The only problem is I can't see what's happening up here. The only thing I can actually do is some of the programs which I know are safe, like my Arriva Train one, my Gadwall one there, or my program for cleaning the track. That is one thing I actually do, is I actually go down back out to here now. Let's go out to this one. Let's go out this one. Let's go back to here. Now if I actually just bring the Gadwall out of the way, I haven't got the sound on, I just run it off here for a minute. Because just something quickly I want to show you. Take this out of the way a minute. That's it. I don't want that anymore. Now then, if I go to my last 47, which is that little one there, I've shown you this before, but if I actually come out here and bring it in reverse, under that little blue truck is a little thing called a dust monkey for woodland scenic. I'll just stop him here. Now what I've actually got for getting some of my trucks off, although I've got my magnets and everything else over there, I've got this. Basically it's just a paper clip, and all I have to do is to go under there, unclip like that, shift them off, unclip there, and I have to show you this. Now this is one that's been running around the track. Now look at that. That's what the dirt's come off the track. So all I have to do with that is just unclip it off. Just unclips like that. Tuck it away for a minute. I'd actually get the other one, click it back in there like that, and then stick it back on the train like this. Just goes back on the track like that. That's it, and it's ready to run. So it's all done. Now what I do with this, I just get some dapple cleaner, pour it on, just rub it, and then take it downstairs and wash it under the tap, or track cleaner, just the same, clean it off, bring it up here, then it's ready for the next time. And that's the way I work my system. Anyway, I'll get off now, and simply say, if you want me, I'm on 01782 302194, and I'll see you again shortly. Thank you.